Thank you. You know, the simplest things always turn out to be the most powerful. The most basic things are the things that are most important, and the things that we overlook and we underestimate. So breathing is the classic cliche for that. It's literally right under your nose. It's happening all the time. And so what's so special about it? You know, we're all connected. We're all one. Such a pretty idea, isn't it? But it's not just an idea, it's a fact and reality that we're all connected. And anybody who turns to their breath, anybody who does any conscious breathing whatsoever, quickly realizes that it's a fact and reality. The breath that's inside of you now was inside someone else just a few minutes ago. And the breath that's in the dog walking around here was in you a little while ago. And the breath in the bird flying over tomorrow is in you now. The breath does connect us. So the game isn't to, you know, let's connect. The game is we are connected, let's wake up to the connection. And if you want to wake up to the connection and keep awake, then the breathing is the best tool we have. If you become conscious of your breathing, you become more conscious, period. When you become more aware of your breath, you become more aware in general. So it's a perfect place to practice what it is we're here for. And so you can get creative and you can play with your breath so that you can express and reflect whatever it is that you hold in consciousness. You can find a way of playing with the breath to make it real, to realize it. So I've been studying breath for 40 years. I have 100,000 students. I've been to 40 countries in the last 30 years. And I don't know anything about the breath yet. And I'll tell you the most latest thing that I've discovered about it, that's what I like to share the most, is that it's one thing to be conscious about something and to consciously affirm it and do rituals and set up communities that seem to reflect it. But it's another thing to actually, when it becomes your default pattern. So one of the things I've discovered and one of the things I'm teaching now is that you can train your system, your mind-body system, you can train it to open and relax in those moments when it's the last thing you would think to do. So everyone can be loving, but how many of us have had this time where you said something or did something and you look back and go, oh, fuck, what was I thinking? Where was I? In the moment when I needed to be awake the most, that's when I went unconscious. That's when I got angry, that's when I got upset, that's when whatever. And you can develop a relationship to your breath that keeps that from happening. Do you know anybody who is in pain and can breathe like this? It's impossible. And so if breathing like that becomes your habit, it becomes impossible to be in pain. It's that simple. You can train breathing reflexes into your system that make it impossible to be in pain. Make it impossible to go unconscious. Make it impossible to be unloving. But nobody can do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. So if anybody's interested in breathing, if anybody's interested in breath work, I welcome. I'm really excited about sharing whatever it is that those of us who have been practicing for a long time have learned. And it's not real, and it doesn't really, it's not pleasurable until we share it. So the next time you take a breath, do it consciously, don't waste it. Every single breath is an opportunity to express something higher about ourselves, to reflect something, to express something higher. And the breath is just waiting for us to use it that way. And it's like a mother, you know, just standing by, waiting for us to turn to it. So do that now. If you can become conscious of your breathing, just totally turn all your attention to the next breath. Gather up and accumulate all your awareness, all your intention, all your love, and just focus it on the next breath. Feel the breath come in, feel the breath go out. And that's enough. If you can do that in those moments when you get lost, if you can just turn to the breath before you strike out at someone or before you go unconscious, if you just train yourself to turn to the breath will wake you up. You won't have to remember to breathe. The breath will get from you what it is you want, and it will wake you up. So the next time you get stressed, your breath, something will happen in your breathing and de-stress you. The next time you get depressed, something will happen in your breathing, it will uplift you. The breathing is alive, the breath is alive. And the only way to bring that life to the surface is to begin to look for it and consciously mine it and wake it up. So God bless you, I love you. And listen, if you hear something that really resonates with you, use the opportunity to take a breath. If you see something you love, take a moment and take a breath. If you're watching a sunset, don't just watch the sunset, breathe it in and watch. If you keep doing that, something's going to come alive in you that can't come alive any other way except by waking up in each moment to what's happening, and the breathing is what's happening. No matter what else is happening, guess what? You're breathing. So fall in love with your breath. And I just came back from India, and I'm into the immortalist community right now, more and more, because there's no reason, if we embody the divine, there's no reason why we should suffer any maladies. And so if people have had intellectual enlightenment and spiritual enlightenment, we need that physical enlightenment. We need to draw the divine into the cells of your body and let the body be included in the eternal life of the spirit. And no one can do it for us. We're going to do it one breath at a time. But if anybody has anything better to do, I'd like to know. Thank you.